Hey, what's up, guys? Today I'll show you a romantic thriller film, Rebecca. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. Rebecca is a film adapted from a classic hit novel, published way back in 1938. Because of its success, it was adapted into a movie in 1940. Still, about 80 years later in 2020, the ghost of Rebecca haunts us again in our sleep. It became a remake directed by Ben Wheatley, starring Lily James, Armie Hammer, and Kristen Scott Thomas. This classic romantic thriller film once again rises for Generation Z to witness. The film is still worth watching nowadays because of the ageless issues it tackles: obsession, failed marriage, manipulation, illicit affairs, flawed justice system, and others. Rebecca can still reflect these issues in contemporary times, and the portrayal of Rebecca, 2020, highlights these issues, especially now in the modern age. We can say that the ghost of Rebecca still haunts people nowadays with the issues it brings. Moreover, this movie is a horror, where the real monsters are not evident to the eye. Its goals are to make the audiences realize how vulnerable humans are to be obsessed with a person or even immaterial things. The film's message is that we are living a short and scary life, and we must look outside the box to challenge it. The movie begins when the main character narrates that she has been dreaming of being back to Manderley. Like all dreamers, she can pass through all her memories. She is recollecting her past as she wonders what her life would have been without Mrs. Van Hopper. One day, Mrs. Van Hopper tells her about the owner of Manderley, Maxim de Winter, whose wife died a year ago. She says it to the main character because she wants to be seated with Maxim de Winter during the event. However, as soon as the main character requests it, one of the staff says that Monsieur has the right to choose where he would like to be seated. Our blonde lady meets Maxim de Winter in the venue. He is wearing a well-made, mustard-colored suit. One morning, Mrs. Van Hopper wakes up with a terrible sickness. Because of it, our beautiful Manning girl goes to the terraces alone. When she reaches the venue, the staff says that she could not go to the terraces because it is not meant for employees. Instead, it is only for the wealthy ladies. Maxim de Winter notices their conversation, and he says to the staff that the main character will be joining him. The main character joins Maxim de Winter at his table. The Monsieur is interested in her as they talk a lot. After breakfast, they thank each other for their time together, saying that their conversation was delightful. In the afternoon, while our blonde lady is doing her business, Maxim de Winter gives a note to one of the staff to give it to the main character. Maxim de Winter is inviting her to have dinner together. The main character sneaks out and goes with Maxim de Winter. The Monsieur takes her to his car, and they go for a road trip to get into the exotic garden. The main character notices that Maxim de Winter is still sad about his wife's death. She tries to ask him about his dead wife, but the Monsieur does not like to talk about it. With the exotic garden bringing back memories of his wife, the Monsieur decides to leave and have the main character drive his car. They spend the day together. Ever since that day, they have regularly dated each other. They are spending the day and dinners together. The blonde lady and Maxim de Winter's relationship are now getting closer than ever. One day at the beach, they begin to caress each other and make love. After that, the main character goes home and sees Mrs. Van Hopper healed from her sickness. The madam says to her that they must ready packing for their things because Mrs. Van Hopper wants to go to New York and stay there for the time being. Mrs. Van Hopper knows that the main character has seen Maxim de Winter. She thinks that the Monsieur does not like her assistant. Rather, he is out of his mind. The main character sobs as she listens to the words of her madam, doubting her that the relationship she has with the Monsieur is not genuine. The night has passed and they have to go to New York. The main character believes that she must go to Maxim de Winter to bid him goodbye. Approaching him, Maxim de Winter is shocked. Still, he does not want the main character to go away. He tells her to come with him to Manderley and marry each other. The main character agrees, and they tell Mrs. Van Hopper. The madam says to the main character that the Monsieur wants to marry her because he does not want to be stuck in Manderley with the ghost of his dead wife. As our main character, now Mrs. de Winter, finally goes to Manderley, one of Maxim's staff tours her the whole house. The house is very massive and has a lot of expensive furniture and paintings. Mrs. de Winter is still culture shocked as she roams around Manderley. She is not used to being rich and having maids. While inside her bedroom, she wonders why Maxim did not give her the room of his dead wife. She is wondering if the former wife of Maxim still has more value than her. She is curious about it and tells Maxim that it is okay for him to talk about his dead wife if he is comfortable. However, Maxim ignores every conversation that is about his former wife. One night, Mrs. de Winter notices that Maxim is sleepwalking. He stands up and starts walking towards the master bedroom. As soon as she confronts Maxim, the head staff tells her that she should leave him because it is dangerous to wake up a sleepwalker. The very next morning, Mrs. de Winter asks Maxim if he knows that he is a sleepwalker. Maxim just ignores what she says and tells her to enjoy her breakfast before leaving. Mrs. De Winter is now suspicious of Maxim's dead wife. Our main character is curious and wants to know more about her and how much Maxim loved her. She is now starting to go through her things to learn more about what kind of person she is. One morning, during the walk of Mr. and Mrs. De Winter, they notice that Jasper the dog has been running around recklessly. Mrs. De Winter wants to chase the dog and save it from the steepness of the hills. Even though Mr. De Winter commands her not to pursue Jasper, she ignores it and goes to the dog. While chasing Jasper, they end up inside an old cottage. Mrs. De Winter notices that the dog has been barking as it stares blankly at the curtain without any reason. Mrs. De Winter finds out that Ben, the keeper's son, is living inside the cottage. Ben says to her that the owner of Jasper the dog is the former wife, saying she is gone because she went to the sea. Our main character implies that the former wife dies by drowning. As she goes back to Mr. De Winter, she tells him that she knows why he does not want to go there. She insists that he must tell her everything, so that she would know more about his former wife. However, as always, he chooses not to talk about it. During the family gathering, Mrs. De Winter says she wants to remake the ball that the former wife organized. At first, Maxim does not like the idea, but he approves it afterward. The family of De Winter, especially the grandmother, does not believe that the main character is Maxim's wife. They think that she is too different from the former. Mrs. De Winter learns from the grandmother that the former wife is named Rebecca. Mrs. De Winter is now frustrated with Rebecca. She starts going to the old cottage and the master bedroom to learn more about her. Frank tells her that Rebecca is the most beautiful creature he has ever seen. Because of that, Mrs. De Winter wants to be more like the former wife. While sneaking into Rebecca's bedroom, Danvers, the head staff, sees her. Danvers tells her about Rebecca, how she is so beautiful and how she makes Maxim so happy. She also says that Maxim will never be happy again because Rebecca is the only love Maxim has. Mrs. De Winter is now starting to have nightmares of Rebecca. One day, Mrs. De Winter meets one of Rebecca's cousins, Fable. Fable teaches her how to ride a horse. He also tells her that the day when his cousin died, she was initially going to London. This makes Mrs. De Winter curious as to why her husband left for London without saying anything. Fable says that he and Maxim are not friends anymore, and he is just there to have tea with Danvers. Maxim is really upset when he hears about Fable coming to his house. He blames Mrs. De Winter for welcoming and spending time with him. Mrs. De Winter tries to explain that Danvers was the one who invited Fable to the house, but Maxim does not want to hear it. Mrs. De Winter asks Danvers to help her organize the ball. The main character enjoys preparing for it, and she feels like she is going back on track again. She even chooses the red dress that one of the ladies of De Winter's once wore. It was suggested by Clarice. Unfortunately, during the night of the ball, heavy rain is starting to pour out. Still, the event proceeds, and when it is time for Mrs. De Winter to show herself, Maxim and everyone in the house are shocked upon seeing her. Maxim does not like what she looks like and orders her to go and change. Mrs. De Winter wants to know what she has done wrong, but Maxim just screams and wants her to change. Clarice admits that wearing the red dress is one of Danvers' ideas. It is revealed that Rebecca wore this once before. Danvers makes Mrs. De Winter look bad again and proves that Rebecca is one of a kind. As the ball continues, Mrs. De Winter is slowly losing her mind. She's thinking that everyone in the ball is chanting Rebecca right in her face. Rebecca is now the insecurity of her own life. Danvers then goes to Rebecca, admitting that she's against her from the start. She says that Maxim will never love her because she is not Rebecca, and Rebecca is the prettiest creature, and she would never catch up to her. One afternoon, there is a shipwreck on the shore of the Manderley. The people quickly identify it as the boat of Rebecca. As soon as they go on the boat, they confirm that it is hers. Her body is found on the boat with the same hair color, wedding rings, and body type. This development steers a scandal in Manderley because everyone knows that Maxim has already buried Rebecca. The police are now interrogating Maxim, asking him who it is that he buried. He confides everything to Mrs. De Winter. He says that she did not die from drowning. He was afraid of her. Rebecca was cruel and wanted to abuse all of Maxim. Even though Maxim hated her, he did not have the guts to divorce her because it would stain the family's reputation. Rebecca died of a gunshot, and Maxim is the one that pulled the trigger. Instead of telling the police, Mrs. De Winter decides to help Maxim defeat Rebecca, and she will stand by him until the hearing. The hearing does not go well for Maxim as he is indicted for murdering Rebecca. The court finds that Rebecca has no intention of suicide, and they believe that Maxim killed her intentionally. One of the lawyers says to Maxim that no one is above the law. To save Maxim from the indictment, Mrs. De Winter goes to London to find the evidence. She's a few minutes early from the investigator. She finds Rebecca's file in one of the folders. Along with the police, they find that Rebecca is suffering from cancer. This is a sudden development that gives a motive to Rebecca to commit suicide. The court has judged that Maxim is innocent and he frees them from his prison cell. Outside the jail, Fable says that he could get him himself if the law could not get Maxim. As Mr. and Mrs. De Winter are on their way home, they find that the whole Manderley is burning to ashes. Clarice says that Danvers is the one responsible for burning Manderley, and she goes for the boathouse. Knowing about it, Mrs. De Winter goes to chase her. Out of defeat and grief, Mrs. De Winter finds her jumping off the sea, killing herself. Before jumping off, Danvers says that the Manderley belongs to her and the person she loves, Rebecca. Mrs. De Winter ends her narration. It is the day that she dreams of Rebecca and Danvers, and it is also the day she decides to leave the dead behind. Because after all, she has no regrets about saving her husband and fighting for love. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your fun for today.